Silvera was just at a funeral, and all you can see was his mouth slightly ajar. You could see his teeth. They're pretty white, I must admit. I don't know if they're veneers, but you know. And he was sobbing, and he made sure that the cameras snapped him, and you know, and saw him like all bent over and sobbing, and he looked pretty sad. And I know of people like him. I'm not saying that he's like that, but I know of people like him that can put on a show when cameras are around. They put on a show, and they know exactly where the cameras are, and they put on a show when cameras are around. Okay, so now she's buried, and it took a while for her to be buried. I've been watching this story. It took a while for her to, you know, for her to go away. And now they've picked him up. They've picked him up for questioning. And if you're married, and you end up with a bullet or a stab wound or something like that, I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you that the only place in the world you can get away as a husband with that is probably Barbados. Probably the only place in the world that you can get away with something like that is in a place called Barbados. Everyone that knows anyone that knows anything, that has been to any school, that has been to any seminar, that has been trained by law enforcement, that has been trained, and see how the FBI, the CIA, all of those agencies compile information. All of them know that when the wife goes down, the husband is involved. Okay, they know it. Okay, so while he was there crying and I saw him, I said, I wonder when they're gonna pick him up. Well, they've picked him up. I don't know if they'll ever be able to prove that he did it. I don't know if they have DNA, you know, facilities, and that could be, they don't exist in Barbados. But yeah, I don't know what they have in Jamaica, and I don't know if they can prove a case. But the fact that they picked him up for questioning, he was at a party, and the party was canceled, okay? And they use the word drag. He was dragged. I don't think they really dragged him. I don't know why they used that word. But yeah, he should be the first suspect. The first suspect, okay? And usually when there's a knife involved in another matter that I'm following, I'll talk about that later. Yeah, it's usually some husband or a significant other that is really seething. He's really angry about something you've done. Usually there'll be cheating involved or something. The woman would be, he would think that the woman is cheating. But yeah, they usually like to pay the perpetrator to do what they do, and they want them to use not a bullet, because you can die really quickly from a gunshot. They would think that you would die quickly. They want you to use something that, you know, that's painful and it would take its time. So it's very violent. It's a very violent thing, and being married is a risk. Being in a relationship is a risk. Being in a relationship with an opposite is a risk. Okay, so she has died. I saw 2 little boys with him at the funeral, so probably had 2 kids from the union, and she knows what happened to her. She cannot speak. She's in spirit form at this moment, but she knows what happened to her. And depending on how much strength and how bold and how big and how bad she is in that world, we'll find out. She'll make sure that all the clues are there for people to stumble, that all the investigators to stumble over. We'll find out. But yeah, he has been picked up, and I was wondering if all those tears that he was spilling at the funeral, if that was going to help him from being picked up. They did not. This is not Barbados. You are not in Barbados, okay? This is Sherry Veronica.